Hey guys, Mine here, and welcome back to another Hytale news video. We've got an absolute ton of news to talk about today. Today, we'll be covering the most recent blog post from the most anticipated game of 2019, Hytale. Before we hop into the news though, I want to give a special shout out to our Discord community, which you can join right now. As always, link will be in the description. And without further ado, let's get right into the news. Starting off, this blog post is all about Zone 1's wildlife, specifically the creatures in Hytale. The Hytale team says, as we wrote in our World Gen introduction back in January, each zone in Hytale's adventure mode features its own unique elements, including geology, plants, NPCs, monsters, and animal life. In this post, we're going to give you a closer look at some of the creatures that you'll be able to encounter in the forested wilds of Zone 1. From this picture, they show us a grizzly bear in its natural habitat, sleeping in a cave. What the Hytale team says is nothing out of the ordinary. Grizzly bears are highly territorial and can be found in Zone 1's forests. They become defensive when approached, but won't attack unless you refuse to get out of their way or directly provoke them. An angry bear will chase intruders, but won't pursue you beyond the bounds of its territories. Something fascinating to take from this is the sheer amount of AI put into each of the animals. For the bear to become defensive if you were to come close, and to start chase you if you get even closer, this becomes even more evident with what the Hytale team has to say next. Bears like to sleep, and if wounded, will try to flee to find somewhere and recuperate. Disturbing a sleeping bear isn't a great idea though. With that being said though, we can speculate that if you've been trying to get rid of that pesky bear off your base, you can trace back to one of the nearby caves and perhaps finish off the bear. Moving from the nature's fiercest predator, we have a passive creature to show you next. Here we have the frog. Here's what Hytale has to say. Frogs, meanwhile, are an example of ambient life, smaller creatures that provide the world of Orbis with a sense of life and interactivity. They don't pose a threat in the way that monsters or larger predators do, but they do help make Zones 1 ecology livelier and more dense. I love the small detail Hytale focuses on. Details like these can go a long way. One thing worth mentioning about the frogs is Hytale calls them ambient creatures, and we'll explore ambient creatures with the next animal, which would be a duck. A more traditional lake duck look, the Hytale team says, ducks which can be found paddling in shallow water are another type of ambient creature. This clip shows a couple of behavioral and animation features that help bring Hytale's animals to life. In addition to specific behaviors like feeding, animals can also turn their head to look to one another. Little touches like this give the creatures really personality. In the video clip, we can easily see what Hytale had to say. The way the ducks move their heads almost feel as if they're actually interacting with one another, and for all we know, maybe they can. Moving on, our next creature to show you today is the bird life in Hytale, specifically sparrows in this clip. Hytale team says, we found that bird life in particular is useful for creating the sense that you're exploring a living, breathing world. The presence of bird in flight, like the sparrows in the clip above, creates a welcome impression of life and movement. Not everyone feels the same way, however. Trorcs may even get confused and throw their spears at them. That's kind of crazy. This relates back to how insane the amount of detail they put into this AI. Moving on, here are a few examples of the creatures you'll encounter in Zone 1. We have a family of deer, which we've seen a lot of in the trailer and Twitter posts. Something worth mentioning though is in this screenshot, we can even see one of the deer eating grass. Our next creature is a rat, with bright red eyes and black hair. This is something you'll definitely want to avoid. Might I add, these rats look massive. They're almost as big as a full block. From ground rats, we have rats that can fly, specifically bats. With bright, glowing eyes, these guys will fly in groups. And from the picture and trailer, we can assume to find them in caves. A more common creature we have is the pigeon. In this picture, we can see it fly across the grasslands. Note, it's by itself, so will we only see pigeons flying solo? And finally, arachnophobes beware, as this final picture shows a spider you wouldn't want to come across. The spider has a special ability to climb walls, and in this instance, a tree. Imagine the spider waiting on one of the branches to jump on its prey. Definitely not something I'm going to be looking forward to. Hytale concludes by saying that they'll do a follow-up on more creatures in multiple zones in the future, so make sure to stay tuned. Anyways, thanks for watching today's Hytale news video. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share, and turn on that notification bell so you'll never miss a future upload. Let us know if we missed anything at all, and we'll make sure to respond, as we'd love to hear anything about Hytale. As always, we'll see you tomorrow for another Hytale news video. See ya!